Roya means dream, and my dream is that all women, not only in Iran, around the world, be such supportive and showing their solidarity. Be united. Let's celebrate ourselves tonight. Thank you so much. Oh, before going to my presentation, I really want to talk about why I betrayed my brother, because it is very important. I am coming from a country right now, women are not allowed to go to stadium. And I strongly believe that if you want to overthrow the regime, if you want the Islamic Republic to be gone, first you have to start your own revolution from your family's house. You have to ask your men that why you go to a stadium while I'm not allowed to enter the stadium and enjoy myself. And I want to simply ask a question here. There's so many Iranian men here, yeah? How many of you would go to stadium if your daughter, your mother, your sister, your girlfriend are not allowed to enter the stadium? Show me. Show me. How many of you? So none of you? مردای ایرانی پس از مریخ اومدن؟ The history will judge us. The history will judge every single man in Iran. And you have to understand that. It is very, very important. If you really want to bring democracy, you have to respect the women in your house, in your family. So that was my reason. To be a nightmare for all the oppressors, but from the beginning, ask your own right from your own men. Thank you so much. Happy International Women's Day. But the thing is, all we heard from every amazing, speakers here, it was sad. Beyond sad. The human rights situation is dark. It's like my backyard garden in my village. As Roya mentioned about my mother, I grew up in a really poor family. So we didn't have inside bathroom. During the night, I had to go to outhouse, which was blacker than black, if such a thing is possible. So my mom used to say, if you let your fear win, then the darkness can devour you. The darkness is like a monster. If you let your fear win, the darkness can swallow you all. So instead of being scared of the darkness, just stare into the darkness. Open your eyes as wide as you can. Then the darkness will disappear. So the human rights situation in Iran is like my backyard garden. It's dark, blacker than black. But all women in Iran, now they learn how to open their eyes as wide as they can. Now, the women in Iran, they're making history. They know how to defeat the darkness. So today, I am here to represent these brave women in Iran. 5 years ago, when I launched my Selfie Freedom and challenged compulsory hijab, people were laughing at me because my campaign's name was My Selfie Freedom, Azadi Yawashaki. Of course, freedom will not come with any adjective. Azadi, azadi, azadi Yawashaki nadare. We don't have selfie freedom. Freedom is not going to happen in secret. That's true. And that is why people were laughing at me. But you cannot be a woman in Iran and do not understand when I say Yawashaki. It means that you fell in love, Yawashaki. In stealth. You go out and have fun with your friends, Yawashaki. You dance, Yawashaki. You take off your hijab, Yawashaki. So in the map, we have only one Iran. But in reality, we have two Iran. All our freedom after the revolution became Yawashaki, became stealthy. And stealthy freedom never scared the government. But as soon as you start to talk about it, you expose your stealthy freedom, that is going to scare the government. And that was my goal. I just published a picture of myself running in a beautiful street in London, full of blossom. And I wrote this caption: every time when I run in a free country and I feel the wind in my hair, it just reminds me of the time when my hair was like a hostage in the hands of Iranian government. I got a lot of comments from Iranian people envying at my freedom from compulsory hijab. Soon after, I found another picture of myself, which was taken inside Iran, unveiled. And I wrote another caption on that picture: I am a woman from Iran, and I know how to bypass the authority. And I know how to create the moment of freedom that I want to. If you want to tell a woman in Iran to do something, tell her not to do. So I published this picture and I asked Iranian women, would you want to share your selfie freedom? Would you want to talk about it? I got bombarded by photos and videos 5 years ago from Iranian women. But it was all in stealth, secret, seaside, mountains. After 3 years, this campaign became a nightmare for the government of Iran. When I was a little girl in my small village, I was the one watching the whole clerics on my black and white TV, تلویزیون سیاسفید خونمون پر از ملا بود. But right now, these are the whole clerics in Iran. They're watching me. And by me, I mean millions of other Iranian women who joined White Wednesday's movement in Iran. Yes, women, they got united in White Wednesday's movement, and then Girls of Revolution Street, where they put the headscarf on a stick and waved it in public. But that was not enough. I had to get men involved again. But this is the responsibility of men, Iranian men. So I had to get them involved. One day I saw Javad Zarif, the foreign minister of Iran, went in France. And he was challenged by a female politician that why you force us to wear hijab and we visit Iran. So he said, this is our culture. And you have to respect our culture. مثل شما، منم عصبانی شدم. I got really furious, very mad, very angry. And I didn't know what to do, how to answer, how to talk about it, and how to make a man understand that how it means to be forced to wear hijab. So I photoshopped him in our culture. I photoshopped him in hijab. Yes. And I wrote this caption: how do you feel about it, seeing yourself in hijab? You feel humiliated? You feel this is not your true identity? You feel you look ugly? This is the way that we have been feeling for 4 decades in Iran when we were forced to wear it. And then I got bombarded by men in Iran wearing hijab and showing their solidarity with men. Just go and Google the hashtag men in hijab. You will see the true face of Iranian men in this campaign. All men started to say that we don't own our women and we don't want to force them to wear hijab. غیرت این نیست که به زنانمون حجاب رو تحمیل بکنیم و تحقیرشون بکنیم و غیرت واقعی مردان ایرانی یعنی این که اجازه ندن به نام اونها زنان رو تحقیر بکنن. I'm going to talk about the third part of the movement and then talk about the global movement and how the global movement can support us. One day I was just in the airport in London. One of the pro-government guy just stopped me, Iranian pro-government, and he called me, "You ugly woman, you are ruining the image of Iran." As Royal beautifully mentioned, that why you showing the dark side of Iran, the ugly side of Iran, so you're betraying your own country. That broke my heart first. And I started to explain that this is not me ruining the image of Iran. This is the Islamic Republic of Iran, ruining the beautiful image of my country. This is the law where actually allow you to beaten up a woman to wear hijab. This is the law which allows you to lash as a woman. This is the law which execute people, put people in danger. These are the oppressive laws, the Sharia laws, which actually count women like second-class citizens. These are the laws which actually doesn't even allow us to be happy, to be our true self, to have our true identity. These are the oppressive laws ruining the image of Iran. And those women who are fighting against these oppressive laws, actually, they are the one showing the beautiful side of Iran. So he was not convinced, but that didn't bother me. What bothered me, he called me ugly. And I strongly believe in the eyes of my mother, I'm a beautiful daughter. In the eyes of my son, I'm a beautiful mother. In the eyes of my husband, I'm a beautiful I took my camera and I ran after that guy and I said that, just repeat yourself. Repeat yourself. Guess what happened? He couldn't, and I won the battle. So I asked Iranian women, anytime you're being harassed or being told by morality police to cover yourself, just use your camera. My camera is my weapon to expose the true violence of the Iranian government and those men who believe that they own women. So now, through my camera, it's my weapon. Men and women got united. They attacked morality police. And they saved a woman being arrested by morality police. And that shows you the power of Iranian women and their non-violence weapon, their mobile phone. So through my camera is my weapon. A woman who resisted morality police got 9 million views. And the supreme leader of Iran doesn't get that much views. That is the power of Iranian women. The third part, which is really important for me, and I'm going to make it short. Why? We have so many brave women in Iran, but why for 4 decades the compulsory hijab has remained, but burkini ban has been suspended less than a month in France? Why? Because we, the Iranian women, are alone on our fight. The international community are watching us, but not getting involved, not supporting and not doing anything in practice. The same day, when one of the girls of Revolution Street shopper, Akshadarizadeh, got arrested in Tehran while protesting against compulsory hijab, there were 3 female politicians from Netherlands. They were in Iran, obeying compulsory hijab law without even challenging it. So I met many female politicians, and I sent them an open letter and asked them to stand up for their own dignity. Challenge compulsory hijab while you visit my beautiful country. They have 4 arguments which allow themselves not getting involved in our fight and supporting us. First, some of the female politicians said that compulsory hijab is a law and we have to respect the country's law. Slavery used to be legal. Nobody can say we have to respect the bad law. If you look at the history, there were many women and men sacrificed their life to break the bad law to make it a respectable law. And they say, this is a law, we have to respect the law. Let me make it clear for you. If the Western government come up with a law and force our female politicians to take off their hijab, all of them would protest. They never say that we have to respect the law. Second, they say compulsory hijab, it's Iranian culture, so we go there and we wear it out of respect to the Iranian culture. By calling a discriminatory law a culture of our nation, actually you're insulting our nation. Because before the revolution, women were allowed to choose what they wanted to wear. Compulsion has never been part of our culture. And more importantly, culture is flexible. Culture is not something written on a stone. Culture changes generation by generation. And my question is this. If you go to France and the government Our government, the Islamic Republic's government, drinking wine is our culture. You think the Islamic Republic officials respect the culture of France? No. The first thing when they go in any Western country asking all the alcohol beverages to be removed. Why? Because they stand up for Islamic values. My question is this: why Western female politicians who go to my country, they never stand up for their own values, for universal values? Why? Third, they say because this is a domestic issue. This is an internal matter. This is a big lie. This is wrong. Because it is not an internal matter. As far as the government of Iran forced all non-Iranians, female politicians, athletes, tourists, actresses, all female who go and visit my beautiful country, they're forced to wear hijab, then you cannot say this is an internal matter. It's about you. It's about all women. And more importantly, human rights, it's a global issue. Nobody can say human rights, it's an internal matter. The government of Iran forced all women around the world. Now, all women around the world should get united and bring this wall down. Third, they say we keep silent, we go to Iran and we never talk about compulsory hijab because this is a small issue and we go there to solve bigger problems. Come on. When our government do not let you to make a decision about your own body, to make a decision about a small issue, you think they can allow you to make a decision about bigger problems? And how come you call compulsory hijab a small issue when the government of Iran just this year impounded 60,000 cars just because women were driving unveiled inside the car? You cannot call this as a small issue when the government of Iran actually arrested and warned 3.6 million women within a year just because of having inappropriate hijab. How come you call it a small issue when only in last year 29 people of white Wednesdays got arrested and the girls of Revolution Street got arrested just because of waving a small piece of cloth? No, we are not fighting against a small piece of cloth. We are fighting for our dignity. برای کرامت انسانی می‌جنگیم. We are fighting for our identity. And nobody can say that this is a small issue when you don't have even permission to make decision for your own body, but that government asks you to go and vote for president in any kind of embassies outside Iran without actually being forced to wear hijab. So when they need your vote, the doors of all the embassies outside Iran is open. The door of the stadium in Iran is open. But when you vote for president election, then you are forced to wear hijab and you're being kicked out from any stadium. So women's issue is not small. When those small-minded government use us, our body, actually to... The last one, Islamophobia. They say we don't talk about compulsory hijab because of Islamophobia. Let me make it clear for you. As a woman who grew up in a country where all the Sharia law took my rights away from me, from the age of 7 I had to carry the fake identity with me, I have the right to be scared of all the Sharia laws. And I'm not scared of being labeled as... celebrate your own power. The Islamic Republic has 3 pillars: death to America, death to Israel, and compulsory hijab. I'm going to prove you that who is the biggest enemy of the Islamic Republic of Iran? I received a death threat because of fighting against compulsory hijab. A well-known Basiji actually threatened me on a live interview with BBC Persia and said that I'm going to butcher Masih, her tongue, her chest, and send it to her parents. And it was disgusting from the beginning. So I went to Iran's interest section to make an official complaint about it. Guess what happened? They told me you're not allowed to enter without hijab. So first, cover yourself, then come and make an official complaint. I said, you must be kidding me, no? The reason that I received a death threat, it's because I'm fighting against compulsory hijab. So I ran toward upstairs. I practiced my civil disobedience in Iran's interest section. I used my camera while filming them, running unveiled in Iran's interest section. And guess what happened? They called the American Secret Service, their biggest enemies, the great Satan Secret Service, to save themselves from an unveiled woman. That shows we have the power. And America or Israel, the West doesn't scare the government. It's their own people, especially the women.